When you're streaming, you open yourself up to all manner of interaction. These people didn't expect to get followed, stalked, or run into downright disturbing circumstances, but since they were on live stream, they caught it all on camera. Sometimes you hit that little recording button and never know what comes next. When it's live, it's all up to chance, and sometimes that's a terrifying thing. Next time you go streaming, maybe look over your shoulder. For now, make sure you watch to the end and see what we mean. Creepy stream sniper won't take a hint. There's nothing more annoying than someone who can't take a hint, like this streamer's fan who decided to not only crash her stream, but stick around afterward.
Okay, so you're not gonna go back to your house? You're gonna just follow me?
Unicorn19 is an IRL streamer, and this is hardly the first time she's been harassed, but she shows excellent self-control as he lingers beside her, typing away on her phone.
See you next time?
This isn't his first time around the block, as he tries to tie her down with some plans. She tactfully says that she might be busy and says goodbye. He seems to linger there for a moment before Yumi begins to wave, effectively forcing him off camera and getting him to leave her alone. Smart move. IRL streamer narrowly escapes creepy stalker. Sometimes you need to make a quick escape. This streamer was apparently being followed for a while, though the clip here is short. Botez is an IRL streamer recording her everyday life. However, as the camera pans around, we see they're making an escape, presumably from the person watching them from afar. The group quickly makes their way inside, only for the would-be creep stalker to come right up behind them, right as the password-sensitive door closes. He watches them as they walk into the seemingly exclusive place, able to put a safe distance and a seemingly heavy-duty lock between them. Streamer harassed at beach. Sometimes IRL streamers are just out there, minding their own business, and people want to interrupt their stream. I Am Jasmine deals with this greatly in her streaming career. People feel they can approach or accost her suddenly. This clip shows as she exits the water to return to her stream as two men approach her. She takes the conversation in stride. They eventually start coming onto her, but quickly walk back when her response isn't what they wanted.
I want a one-night rob.
One-night rob?
One-night rob is... make love. Yeah, you know?
They say it's a Japanese joke. Finally, one of the men sits down next to I Am Jasmine and starts harassing her close up, brushing her leg off and asking her what seems like invasive questions, though mostly trying to act like they've met before. She grows increasingly more uncomfortable as time goes, but doesn't seem able to end the interaction. Streamer catches paranormal activity mid-stream. Most streamers have a handle on their streams at some point, but this one seems intent on going wrong. This one might not be a stalker, but you'd think he was being watched by how he's acting. The streamer, Robbie, begins acting erratically while booting up his game.
Dude, stop. Did you fucking hear that, Anon?
He looks over his shoulder constantly as if he expects someone to be there. Each time there's nothing. No one's watching him, no one's in the room. Yet Robbie keeps hearing it and eventually gets up to check it out. He seems unsatisfied that he can't find anything, but tries to continue his game. Only for all his equipment to fail on him as if some petty specter decided to ruin his day.
Oh my fucking god!
What do you think? Overreacting or not? Creep approaches streamer on live stream. You can live your life, mind your own business, and still be harassed. This streamer caught the moment as a stranger approached her, beginning to ask invasive, uncomfortable questions.
What's your name?
Alyssa?
Alyssa, I'm Tad.
She handled it as well as she could, but the man off camera was not to be deterred. She gently rebuffs the stranger by telling him she was streaming, but it takes a second man, also off camera, to come to her rescue at the last moment.
I'm currently on a live talking with some people.
Luckily, her friend was watching out for her because this stranger didn't seem to want to take no for an answer. Streamer unwittingly robbed live. This streamer should have been paying attention or gotten a security camera. The commenters on this are right. How didn't he hear them breaking in? It's hard to imagine that there were no warnings. Suddenly, while playing his game, a man comes up from behind him, threatening the streamer and putting him off camera. The robbers told him to shut up, and the streamer quickly complied and went with them willingly. As we see it, the game keeps going, even as our streamer disappears. It's hard to tell whether this was real or staged, but for the purpose of this clip, it ends and we're left with questions. So many questions. Paranormal activity caught on Twitch stream. If you're streaming, chances are you're comfortable with being watched. Chances are, though, you aren't expecting those watchers to come from beyond the grave. Streamer SirGaryTube was home alone streaming Pokemon as the door behind him slowly closed.
Granted, I did drop my phone on it, and my phone...
He's clearly freaked out, eventually heading out of the room to see if perhaps it was his roommate. The thing is, he explains, he was home alone and no windows were open. However, when he leaves the room, the door shuts on its own yet again, which he missed, but the chat saw it. It's hard to mistake that. Streamer followed by creepy men. I'm sure the streamer would be much more comfortable if her stalker was a ghost. As she begins streaming, this IRL streamer is approached by an old homeless man who begins an unprompted conversation.
Who? Har? Your name's Har?
Hearth.
Your name's Harth. Nice to meet you, Harth. My name's Brooke.
The first man is fine, at first. Mostly. But a few other people join in, starting to crowd her space. She quickly becomes uncomfortable with the behavior as she tries to regain control of the conversation.
Have a great day, men. Alright.
She turns to leave and the first man shows back up beside her, not willing to let her go. He begins asking for her to buy him food, then refuses to leave. Eventually, they separate again, and she's still reeling from the interaction, but he's not done.
Oh, he's back.
I just had to follow you.
You just had to follow me?
Yes,
Why?
because I would love to have those lipstick.
You want my lipstick?
As the video claims, the man circles back to continue following her after a moment. He began to ask her for a print of her lips, then suddenly starts asking her age.
You're 18, right?
No, I'm 17. I'm sorry.
The streamer is just 17, and the man begins chasing her, refusing to leave her be, as she tries to escape the suddenly dangerous situation.
Oh, you know you're not. He said he's coming with me. He is following me, guys. He said he's gonna tickle me.
Eventually, she does escape to a public space where she feels safer, thankfully. Sushi Potato followed by persistent stalkers. Honestly, some people don't know how to take no for an answer. Sushi Potato deals with this in her streams as people refuse to leave her alone. In this, the streamer begins to try and fix her mask as a persistent man begins to catcall at them.
Sorry, my mask is broken. I'm trying to go get a mask.
He doesn't want to leave them alone, quickly hitting on the women. The streamer's friend apologizes to the men who begins to question her ethnicity.
Yeah.
They do get away, and the woman can get to safety. And luckily, these men don't follow this time.
Too persistent. He looks so fucking persistent.